welcome back to my channel. I am here with my TBR for the Fantasy Adventure-A-Thon. If you guys have been here for that long, my first video ever was the Holiday Adventure-A-Thon, and it was like my first video I ever posted to book 2, and I really like the format of that readathon. Also, I have a little bit more time now, want to do something kind of fun, so Fantasy Adventure-A-Thon. So if you guys don't know how the Fantasy Adventure-A-Thon works, basically you have to complete challenges up this map, which I'll put up here in the corner. And basically at each point the map curves, you get to choose which challenge you want to complete, and your path will eventually take you to one of the 4 teams: fairy, unicorn, dragon, or mermaid. And so it's like you have a little more freedom to choose, and it also creates that sort of team aspect, so I'm super excited. So I'm gonna figure out my TBR and then what team I'm gonna be on. So the first level is Fellowship, which is to read the group book. The group book this time is A Darker Shade of Magic, which I have read, but I haven't read it in a while. I was planning on either rereading it or reading the second book because they said they were flexible, but I haven't read it in a while, so I think rereading it would be good. Also, that'll be a thing in this video. I've sort of made a goal for myself of setting aside time to reread books this year, because I used to love rereading books so much, and then I just kind of stopped because of the pressure to like keep reading new books because of BookTube, and I wanted to get back to that. So this year I'm going to be rereading a lot, and I'm going to be using this Adventure-A-Thon to sort of force me to do that. So reread A Darker Shade of Magic. If you go up from Fellowship, the next choice is either Castle or Cliff. Castle is to read a book with royalty in the title, so like royal, king, queen, anything like that. And then Cliff is to read something with nature in the title. I chose Castle because in the spirit of rereading, I'm going to be rereading The Queen of Atolia by Megan Wallen Turner. You guys know how much I love this series, but in terms of like spot rereading, I've reread The King of Atolia and Thick as Thieves, but I haven't fully reread The Queen of Atolia, mostly because it just has me so shook. But it's like my second favorite book in the series, and I really want to reread it. So The Queen of Atolia, the titular queen is my favorite queen. Atolia, I love you so much. If you follow the castle path, the next one you come up to is Owl, which read a book with black on the cover. So if you see there's black on the spine here, but if that doesn't work, I have another book coming up on this list that would fulfill that. So either the Queen of Atolia's dark sort of aesthetic or this other book. Once you follow from Owl, you get to either Fable or Fairy. A fable is either a book that features magical realism or fabulism, and a fairy is a fairy tale retelling, and I chose magical realism. And I'm going to be reading Wild Beauty by Anne-Marie McGlenmore. This book I've owned for a very long time. I actually have a signed book plate of it. It's beautiful and gorgeous, and I really, really want to read it. I've just never set aside the time to. Hopefully through this readathon I'll be able to finally get to it. Once I go up the Fable path, I will be on Bewitch, which is a book that features a romance. This one, from what I saw, features a romance, as does this in a much lesser capacity. Anyone who's read this series knows what I'm talking about, and oh boy, romance. I have those two. And also, another book that I have planned for this also has a romance, so I think most fantasy nowadays contains romance, so it's not hard to find one for this category. So following the Bewitched path, there are 2 options here, either quest or journey. Quest, like side quest, would be short story, and journey would be a book that's over 500 pages. Now, I have an option for a short story. I could read Over Enchanted, which is the short fiction thing that Gail Carson Levine wrote for Ella Enchanted. But in the spirit of rereading, I wanted to reread City of Brass, which has, how many pages does it have? It's like 540, 530 pages. So this features a romance, plus has a lot of black on the cover. So it does fit into the other categories that were kind of Hopefully, rereading The City of Brass in preparation for The Kingdom of Copper, which I have on hold from the library and I'm super pumped about. The last choice is between Poison Apple and Powder. Powder is to read a book by fireside and Poison Apple is to read a book while eating a snack. I live in essentially the desert. We don't have fires unless they're in the forest, so I'm gonna read a book while eating a snack because I like to eat food. Doing it while reading sounds good. See, I'm gonna try and do an actual thumbnail. You guys will see if I succeed or not based on you seeing the thumbnail. But like this, I'm not pretty enough for this. I can't look cute while holding a giant stack of books that are vaguely too heavy because of City of Brass. So this means that I'm on Team Unicorn, which is awesome because the unicorn is adorable. Team fantasyunicorn is led by, as read by Francine, who is a bookstagrammer and on book Twitter, so I'll leave a link to her stuff down below, as well as a link to Novel Thoughts' original video explaining this, because she does a much better job of explaining it than I do. But, so I'm on Team fantasyunicorn. If you're also doing this, let me know what team you guys are on, and if you aren't doing it yet, but you think you might, you should join Team fantasyunicorn with me. Let me know what you guys think about these books, and I'll see you guys later.